Hi, this is Chris from dashcamcentral.com.au, and today we're going to show you how to update the firmware on your Dod Rc500S dual dashcam. So quite simply what we're going to do to start with is we're just going to power up the camera just so we can find out exactly what firmware is on there. So we've just plugged in and the camera's come alive, telling us it's going into recording mode. So the first thing we're going to do from there is we are going to push our Wi-Fi button. So it's going to turn the Wi-Fi on. The camera has just told us that we've got, and it's telling us that the recording has been disabled. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go into our settings and we're going to look to see if we can find our Dod Rc500S, and there it is, it's just come up. So what we're going to do, so we're just going to log on to that. You can see that it's connecting to the camera. It's telling us it's switched off our other internet. We're going to dismiss that. And the next thing we're going to do is go back in to our Dod app, which we've got here. Telling us it's got no connection. So we are going to connect, saying that the dash cam stopped. So let's open the app again. It's going to log into the app for us, and it's going to connect to the camera, no problem whatsoever. So we're going to quickly go into our settings. You can see it brings up a couple of options there. We'll go into other settings. We'll scroll down to the very bottom and we'll just bring this up so you can have a look. And you see the firmware version on there is 20th of the 5th 2017 as designated there. So we'll just go back in and show you that. Scroll to the bottom and you can see that's your firmware version. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go away. We're going to load the new firmware onto the microsd card. So to do that you need to format your SD card in your camera, and we might just do that right now. So push OK, processing, and SD card has been formatted. So we're going to go away and we're going to format the card again in the PC. Make sure that there is nothing on that card at all. We're going to load the firmware file on that just into the root directory, no other folders or files on the SD card, otherwise it will not load for you. And then we're going to come back and we're going to show you how to load that firmware onto your Dod, and then we'll be able to go back into the app and we'll see that the new firmware version is loaded to the camera. Okay, so we're back now and we've got our microsd card preloaded with our firmware file, which is our .bin file. That file is the only file on the SD card, as we discussed. No other files can be on there, otherwise it's not going to load. We're going to insert the SD card into our slot, pop it in there. We're going to insert our power supply, pop that in there. Let's put our camera back here where we can see it. And now we're simply going to turn on our power and we're going to let the camera do its thing. So what you're going to find is that the camera won't immediately power up. That is what is supposed to happen. So it's going to sit there quietly. It usually takes about 30 seconds. Could take up to 2 minutes. So it's just quietly loading the firmware in the background. It's not giving you any lights or indications to tell you that it's doing it. But you can be assured that given a short period of time, our camera is going to power back up for us and should indicate that it's going to go into recording mode. So we'll just wait a little bit and let it do its thing. In the meantime, what we are going to do is we will go back into our settings on here. As you can see, our camera is not connected because we switched the Wi-Fi off. We switched all the camera recording off, and my phone's gone back and connected, auto-connected to the internet. So, still working its magic in the background. There we go. You can see the lights come on.
Recording now.
And your camera has gone into record mode. So that is quite simply telling us that new firmware has been updated and the camera's gone straight into recording. So let's just confirm that that's the case for you. So let's push the Wi-Fi button and
Wi-Fi on.
turn the camera into Wi-Fi.
Pause recording.
And you might notice with this new firmware that we've got a much better version of the language, so it's a little bit clearer. And you can see that our camera's come up. We're going to push here to connect, and we're going to connect directly into the camera. It's telling us we've turned off our other internet, so that's absolutely fine. And we're going to go into our Dod app. Because it's disconnected, it's going to tell us that we need to reconnect, which it's doing. So let's open the app again, and quite simply it's going to log back on for us, connecting to the
Recording
camera.
now.
So we've gone into the app. Let's go into the settings, other settings, scroll down to the bottom, and we just bring that up, and we can see that the firmware version that we've loaded is 30th of the 7th 2017. So it's confirmed that our new firmware is loaded and the camera's up and running. That's all there is to updating the firmware on your Dod Rc500S, and this is Chris from dashcamcentral.com.au.